here, but it's a mess to me, and I'm not going to show you my apartment because it's a mess to me right now. Mainly because there's Chinese food on the floor over there. But like, but the way it's set up is my desk is literally like 4 to 5 feet long. So I have my tower set up on top of it. Directly next to my tower is my monitor. And then I have like a small section for my drinks, snacks, and all that shit, but it's literally like half a foot to maybe like 3/4 of a foot. And then my TV is set up on the entertainment center next to that. So it's my apartment setup, my living room. For one, my apartment is very small. That's why I don't invite people over on a regular basis here.
Yeah, when are you
Because,
inviting me over?
dude, again, what you're seeing in the camera is literally half of my apartment. Like here, I will so you got this and you got that.
Oh, and then you got your kitchen off
And
to
then
the
you got
side.
my kitchen over there and my bedroom is on the other side of the kitchen.
Yep, I'm gonna be pretty much the exact
Like,
same way for the first year too.
yeah. It's like once this lease is up, since I'm in a much more profitable job now, I will probably upscale and try to upsize and get a bigger apartment. I mean, the good Lord above be gracious to me. I might actually have a girlfriend by then. Who knows? So I might move into someone, but that ain't gonna happen.
I
Don't give me
agree,
that look.
Sarah.
Don't give me that
doubt
look. It's possible. There is like a 1 in a billion chance, but it's
Yeah,
possible.
and I have a 1 in a billion chance of getting struck by lightning. You don't see
Yeah,
me asking for
actually, it is.
that.
At this point with me, it is more probable I get struck with lightning than I find a girlfriend. Like that's just a fact. Actually, I get struck with lightning twice on the same day in 2 different places.
And win the lottery.
Exactly. And then as I am in the hospital, they bring me my winning lottery ticket. All right.
I'm ready whenever.
Yep.
Same.
So again, Sarah, roll 20. If there were any traps, because I have like a rough approximation of the map that for like your campsite in the surrounding area. If there are any traps that are not on the map that you guys set, then just feel free to scribble them in.
Okay, I do have roll 20 open. I just leave all this stuff open on a different window.
Yeah, I have everything open forever and always because I don't let my computer sleep. Well, I let it sleep, but I don't shut it off, like unless I need to update it because I want to torture my computer, I guess.
Yeah, that processor's gonna be dead in No, it's do you have an SSD?
I do.
That will be dead in 2
I
years.
go. Honestly, it's a beast, but
Especially if it's a SATA SSD. Yeah, that's
not.
gonna be okay.
Alrighty. Everyone good to go?
Yeah.
E.
Justin good, Sarah good. Cool. All right. So last time a whole lot of everything happened. So last time
If
you
I everything
guys
mean nothing.
pretty much just backtracked and covered your tracks in a way. You re-explored the cave and the cavern systems, finding a couple more items and a couple small little intricacies of the caves you didn't notice before. And then went back to town to kind of retouch base with a couple of different things, talk to Theo again, which in that encounter piece pseudo-interrogated Theo, suspecting him of knowing something that he wasn't really owning up to. Had a very, very brief encounter with the winged people that were going around. Didn't talk to anyone, but there's a brief eye contact and then going your separate ways before making your way back to the campsite and trapping the living hell out of it. Putting alarms, traps, and all sorts of tomfoolery around. But with that, we ended right on the beginning of a long rest. So if anyone has anything they want to do before we start the watches and start the rest, speak now.
We had a tripwire set somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. Did you want that? Because that was you and someone set that one. Do you have a specific place where you want that? Like towards the back of the camp, towards the front of the camp?
Just somewhere where we'd hear them trip, like kind of well hidden.
I would say probably in the bottom corner of the map that we've made, so we have more coverage on all sides.
All right. So you want to
It's
like
50 feet.
something like that?
Yeah.
All right. We'll call that. Yeah, because you guys have a good amount of rope, so I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah.
easily within.
Yeah.
All right. So is that everything for the night? You guys gonna start hunkering down?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
All right. Who's taking first watch?
I will.
All right, the monks.
it.
Everyone else settles down for a long rest. Two of you start your watch.
I start playing my flute.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The duet happens again.
Oh, we need the modify thingy in here too.
Sure.
Or forget.
Yep, I got you.
Perception checks. This is gonna suck. Ooh, actually not too
Of course,
bad.
I'm not logged in. Why would I be logged in? Real quick, Lilith, you did set that alarm spell. There we go. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. What'd you guys roll?
15.
15 and
Oh, for
perception.
Perception.
yeah. Whoop, almost forgot. Four.
All right. So after the training arc or the training episode that happened, you're a little pooped. So you're keeping up a little bit, and you're kind of dozing in and out during your watch.
I'm still like sleepy from my meditation.
Yeah, you're having that like post nap thing where you're awake and you're like, I just took a nap, I should be rested, but your brain's still like in another place.
Yeah.
So you're keeping watch, but you're watching, you're not actually paying attention to anything. You're looking, not watching.
Playing
That's
my
what I was going
flute.
for. So you're just kind of quietly in the corner, just tooting away. Tethys, as you are keeping your watch, you do notice there's a small, not necessarily a disturbance, but there's a couple bodies, people, organisms that are moving down the pathway towards your camp. Not directly towards it, but kind of like in the general vicinity towards like the cave entrance.
Okay. First, I'm gonna point it out to Rain. Kind of give him like a light tap on his shoulder, and then point on over. Where the
I
figures
do
are
like
at.
my personal patented full body flinch.
Hey.
What?
Some people over there.
Do you think it's them?
Could be. We wake the others.
And as you're kind of like keeping a watch on them, you notice after they get like to a certain point, one of them kind of like stumbles and starts to like fall over themselves before like curling into a ball. And you hear this from this distance. It's not loud, but you hear like this soft coughing sound coming from one of them.
Oh, they're just dying.
Yeah.
No big deal.
They might be sick villagers who've wandered off. Could they
could be
possibly?
looking for peace?
Yeah. Let's wake peace, but only peace.
Only peace? Alright. I will go over and I will give peace a little tap. I think you've got people looking for you.
I'm gonna trot on over.
I'm gonna follow
Grab
her.
It's my spells. Fuck them villagers.
So are you approaching the villagers at this point?
Do.
Yes.
All right, so you start walking towards the villagers, and the one that's like on the ground is just like curling deeper and deeper into like the fetal position. And the other, who's kind of like watching over, is kind of starts like trying to pick him up as best he can. And seeing you walk up, quickly like looks at you, squints a little bit, and starts like half picking up and carrying and half dragging this coughing form towards you. He goes, please, my son is terribly sick. I Are you the healer?
Yeah.
Alright. Guessing that's the restoration then?
Yep.
Alright. And after a couple seconds, the spell sets in and the body goes limp and lax, and the
This time
older...
I like smack his face like, there's no crying in baseball.
Alright. And after a little bit of you smacking him around, he slowly starts coming to, and the slightly older than middle-aged man who is carrying him looks up to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's not much, but here, and he hands you 3 silver coins.
Thank you.
And he starts to
Well, or are you alright?
You do recognize this person as one of the people you already have healed one of the prior nights.
No more for me tonight.
And as you start making your way back to camp, you see and you start hearing it, kind of these people talking over your shoulders. Like, it's okay, you're gonna be okay now. As he starts, again, half dragging, half carrying this younger man back towards the village.
3 silver, you said?
Yeah, 3 silver.
Oh yeah, that's right. My character's still broke. I
Score.
just realized that.
Yeah, you literally have nothing.
A level 2 spell is worth 3 silver, you guys.
We got the transaction rate.
I mean, to be fair, it costs no components, so.
Yeah, but you don't pay a deck builder for just supply.
Exactly. But anyway, with that done, I guess the first watch comes to an end. I'd say you all start hunkering down. Who's taking second watch? Peace, you're already awake if you want to take second.
Moa.
Yeah, I guess we'll take watch.
Alright, so Peace and Taryn taking second watch. Alright, perception checks from 2 of you.
Perception. There it is. Oh yeah, that's a 24.
Alright.
So I'm not staying near the camp for this watch. I'm patrolling significantly outside, like just outside of our row of traps.
Okay.
That way I'm out of sight.
Alright. So 24 for you. Peace, what'd you get? 22? Alright. So yeah, with the 2 of you keeping watch, nothing escapes either of your sight. With the patrol going on and Peace keeping sight near the camp, everything seems more or less normal. Every once in a while you hear a couple of sounds that kind of break the kind of steady flow, but especially with Terran patrolling the woods, you quickly find it to either be a small animal or a larger animal, but more the nocturnal types, more the quiet hunters and gatherers of the night. But with that, your 3-4 hours of watch, maybe 3 hours mathematically, of your watch goes by uneventful, with an extremely diligent watch kept. So
Easy
with
clap.
that, you guys hunker down, wake up our last little cleric for his watch, or her watch. Oops. I'm sorry.
12.
12? Okay. So you, during your watch, still a little bit groggy from sleep, but not too bad. Just kind of start looking around, keeping a steady watch. But at a certain point, you hear the small chime start to go off in the back of your head.
I'm gonna look towards the cave entrance.
You look over, and as you kind of focus in, your eyes kind of zero in at this. Even with it being dark, you can just barely make out a small glint, just for a second before it enters the cave. Do you interrupt the long rest, or do you chase?
Do I? I'm the only one that's long rested.
Just to I can't say anything.
I mean, you've got 2 monks with you that don't really need a long rest.
Realistically, you have
I
2
I
monks
don't
and a
really need it
ranger.
either.
It's
Oh
just the
yeah,
other
right,
cleric.
right.
Well, you also have to think
Uh,
too. Our last session, we never used any of our spell slots. Never casted anything.
Except for
never
peace
used
just
items.
now.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
wake up everyone
one
except
spell.
Peace.
You're waking everyone but Peace?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Peace
Peace,
is
you are
just like
still
a
restfully sleeping. But everyone else wakes up at a little bit of a start, seeing as some of you just started your rest, or continuing your rest not too long ago.
I'm gonna shake them all awake and be like, I think there's something in the cave. The alarm went off. Go, go.
Let's go.
Alright, I'm going to immediately cast Pass Without Trace on all of us.
Oh, well, I already have that, so.
We both have it.
It doesn't.
We both have it. We both have 4 key
double
points.
cast it?
No.
You both are the exact same build as of right now. Well, one of you has, the other has. So yeah, so you guys hurriedly make your way to the cave entrance. Upon reaching there, are you guys going to try to move a little more stealthily, or are you going to try to just bum rush it?
Oh, I casted Pass Without Trace.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
stealth
think
mode.
stealthily.
Stealth.
Going stealthily? Alright, everyone make a stealth check for me then.
That is a plus
And we
10, by
had
the way.
10,
Yep.
Yeah, plus 10.
Okay.
Plus
So
10.
22.
25.
29.
29.
They're sneaking. I
Oh,
give
that.
particular.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, it's 7. Never mind. I thought that was a 1. 19.
19? Yeah. All of you guys, without a sound, just start sneaking your way in and making your way down. And at a certain point, you hear like very light footfalls coming from ahead of you. But they're moving, especially with you guys sneaking, they're moving a good deal faster than you are right now. And as you progress deeper and deeper into this mine, into this cave system, you hear the footsteps coming from that central passageway where the gate and the obelisk are. Are you guys continuing to follow, or are you going to wait somewhere?
Forward.
Follow.
All right.
Onwards
So you
and
got-
upward.
You guys continue
downward.
down straight towards this, the small sounds of footsteps stopping. And after about maybe 3 to 5 minutes of you guys sneaking your way through this passage, you see leaned against one of the rock walls with a notepad in one hand, and next to her, a large set of wings on the ground next to her, as a woman in lighter clothing, still armored, but lighter armor, is next to the obelisk writing something in a notebook.
Seems she hasn't been here before. Guess. What?
False alarm.
Guess she's not here to pick up the stuff.
I don't think so.
They could.
Sorry, I just looked at Sarah's cam.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what me and that's why I gave a thumbs up.
You're asleep, don't smile.
So, is that the same person that you saw in the village?
So
Is that
those of you,
directed at me or just the people? Okay.
Gonna
Ah.
say,
for
Did
those
the-
of you that were in the village,
I
you
believe I saw
recognize all of them being male.
Okay.
I'll say having
What do the wings
female.
look like?
At this distance, they're still a little bit blurry unless you guys are going to get right up to it. But it's more of a silhouette at this point that you can see these large wings, very, very slight glimmer and glow coming from them. But they are large, and based off the way they're leaning against the wall, they are rigid.
Okay.
But at this distance, even with your dark vision, it's a little hard to make out details.
Okay.
Okay.
As far as I could tell, all of the other people were male. So I don't think so.
I don't think she's here to harm us. I say we try to reason and understand what she is doing. It could help us narrow down who we need to look for.
that's a big change for you instead of bonking them over the head.
I don't like killing people. I was forced into it.
Huh, couldn't tell. Yeah, we can question her.
And at this point, as you guys are discussing, she, not necessarily loudly, but more out of there's obviously no one here, kind of semi-loudly snaps the notebook closed for tucking what seems to be a small pen or pencil away into a small pouch at her side, or reaching over to the other side of her belt, pulling out a small blue stone. She raises up to her lips and starts speaking. At this distance, you can't hear anything clearly, but she is speaking something into this stone. So if anyone's trying to listen in more carefully, I'll have you roll a perception check for that.
Sure.
Not
It's
my
like-
forte.
Because at this distance, it is a little
Yeah, I
tough
nat
to
20
hear.
that, so no,
Okay.
it's not.
Oh, I wonder if Karen heard that.
Alright. So anyone else listen in deeply except for Taryn?
I did, but I
Alright.
got a 2, so I
2?
hear jack shit.
He just hears the ocean.
Sure.
He's still got that stone with him, just like, huh.
I pick
Got
up
a
a rock
9.
to see if I can hear it.
I got a
So 9,
9.
20, Lilith.
$21.
21. Okay. Taryn, Lilith, what languages do you guys speak?
Let's see here. Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Halfling, and Sylvan.
Okay.
I speak Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Gnomish.
Okay. So both of you don't necessarily recognize the words themselves, but the flow and more the elegance of the way that she's talking, it's along the same lines as Sylvan or Elvish, but it's a little more Elvish or a little more fluid and a little more
It's
pronounced
Elvish
in
in
the
a
way it's talked.
Sylvan accent.
Exactly. But you can kind of, especially being a little bit more world weary, Lilith, can piece this together to be some form of a celestial language. So unfortunately, neither of you guys are able to understand what she's saying.
Person you left completely alone and asleep understands Celestial.
You are rested.
You're asleep. Shut up. But
Well, fudge.
But after a certain amount of time, she replaces the stone and looks over towards the entryway towards like the mill area, and starts like reaches over, picks up the wings, looks over at the entrance, looks back at the wings, just kind of like holds it up and just like judges the size, looks at it for a little bit longer, whispers something in Celestial again to the wings before the wings themselves go soft and slowly fold down into legitimate pseudo-angelic wings before squeezing them in and squeezing herself between the obelisk and the wall into the main area.
You're telling me her wings went flaccid?
Her wings went flaccid.
You used a lot of adjectives.
I use a lot of adjectives.
It's like one word.
Yes.
Anyway,
Well, should we follow and question her?
I think we should.
corner question, let her go.
Alright. I will knock an arrow and start to follow.
Can I just like?
That's it.
Well, I guess if you knock an arrow, you can't do it downwards.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Are you aiming or?
No.
Okay.
So
Oh,
anyone,
yeah. Okay.
anyone who
I
is
forget bow terms.
yeah, knocking is just putting the arrow on the string.
Yeah.
But anyone who is continuing to follow at this point, need another stealth check from you.
Okie dokie.
I do believe that Pass Without Trace lasts
It's an
for
hour.
an hour. So
Yeah.
So 25 then.
Jesus.
30,
14.
20, so 30.
30. So 30, 25 was a 17,
14.
14, and
23.
23. So Rain, Terran, and Tethys kind of
I'm
leading the
walking in
way,
there.
making your way, just kind of like shifting your way, making no sound. And at a certain point, you hear from behind you just like this rattling of metal. As a couple steps along the way, Lilith kind of stumbled and kind of tripped a little bit and just created just enough noise to be, especially in the deafening silence, you people are moving, having this very abrupt bit of sound come from behind you. And at that point, you hear more than see from the other side of this obelisk a small curse again in a celestial before a small bit of rustling and then an immediate stop to any movement in the chamber.
I'll call out, "Hello? We just want to talk." No response. I'm gonna keep pushing into the chamber.
Yep, me too.
Alright, your bow's still out?
Yeah.
Alright. Everyone else pushing in again?
Yeah.
I'll go just past the obelisk.
Okay. So at this point, you step into this area and you look around, and from your perspective, you don't see anyone or anything out of the ordinary here. So everything seems as you left it the couple nights before.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm gonna head over to that, like the fake wall, the shimmery wall.
The Mario 64 wall.
Yes.
You walk through and it goes.
What time of day is it at this point?
At this point, after everything that happened the past couple of days with your fucked up sleep schedule, you're back to normal now.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it would be early morning. So you're looking around like 4 in the morning, like 3 in the
I was
morning.
just thinking daybreak.
So before dawn. Okay.
Yes, just before dawn.
Damn.
So this happened like close to the beginning of the the last watch.
Can we just like do that NPC wait 2 hours thing?
Step out in the hallway and press T.
Yes.
Yeah.
We find like a park bench in the cave.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit at all.
Alright, well, for the sake of RP, never mind then. I'm very committed to this, JD.
See. Alright, I'm gonna do a personal roll.
I'm gonna go through
wait.
the shimmering Mario 64 wall.
Alright. As you push through the shimmery Mario 64 wall, again, you see the large gate facing you, and maybe 10 feet in front of that, you see a similarly clad to the people outside, but much lighter armor with similar regalia, a tall-ish, maybe about, for a woman, taller, about like 5'10 to 5'11, standing in front of here with a short sword and a dagger in hand, wings equipped back onto her back, just staring daggers into you.
Are these wings detachable?
They're like a harness.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll follow him through.
And I'm assuming they're angelic wings, not dragon wings.
As of right now, yes, they are. They're still in their
As of
flaccid
now,
state.
you say.
So they're still in their flaccid state, just like dangling behind her. Right
Okay,
now.
okay. But yeah, they don't look like they're not lizard, they're bird.
Yes, they're more. Yes. But as you both step in, she kind of takes a step back and like readies herself, and you see the wings kind of just like flare up behind her as she kind of steps back. What are you doing here?
I'll be like, whoa, 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 we just want to talk. And I'll take the arrow and put it back in my quiver.
Okay, as you kind of start like removing the threat from the equation, not occasion, equation.
The occasion.
From the occasion. So he just looks at you, like kind of lowers her stance a little bit, and looks over at the monk and kind of like decides to keep her weapons like at the ready at the very least.
I take a step back.
Well, at
I'm
the very
holding my
least,
ground.
I'm here. Why are you here?
We're investigating certain issues for the village nearby. We're wondering why you're here.
Looks between the three of you who are in the room. I don't know if I trust you with that information yet. Who do you work for?
The village.
And you are in this cave with this looking behind her towards the gate. Why?
You know, I'm not entirely sure I trust you with that information.
I concur.
Well, it seems we're at a inconvenient crossroads at this point.
That is fair.
Do you know why the village is getting sick?
That is not what we're here to investigate.
We
We're
know why
on different terms.
getting sick.
What are those terms? Oh, wait.
Again, I don't know if I trust you with that information yet.
Intelligence of +1, so makes sense. Alright.
Well, we've been around here for a few days. Maybe we can help each other out. We'll tell you
Well-
anything that you might want to know if you tell us a few things that you possibly will know.
I will begin to trust you if you answer one simple question for me.
Sure.
Can you open this gate? Yes or no?
I'm going to assume no, but I have not actually tried yet.
Well
As
then,
far as we know, we can't.
time to figure out if you're telling the
Peace,
truth.
you are sleeping.
And she puts her swords at her side, and you hear a
Wait.
slight murmur again in Celestial. And I do have to check spell details here, because actually, I didn't even think about that. I just thought of an interesting point.
Did you change the prepositions?
Should have. Yeah, there is nothing that says otherwise. So she will kind of look at all of you after murmuring, and I think your friend has something I need, and starts walking towards you, guard still up, but kind of like in a dismissive way, trying to kind of like skirt around you guys.
Going to reach out and stop her.
And as you reach out, she kind of like takes a step back. I need to get
What do you
past
mean, something you need?
Friend.
the one that's standing outside still.
Alright, so we answered your question. Explain.
If you let me pass, I will explain.
I've got a better idea. Lilith, get in here.
I'll come up to me.
Lilith's in the room the whole time, actually.
Yeah, as you as you step through this illusion, seeing this kind of standoff happening, she looks at you, looks quickly at your makeshift bag of holding, and then looks quickly at, is your holy symbol like out and present, or is it more hidden away?
No, usually on a necklace under a shirt, so
Okay, so not immediately visible.
yeah.
Okay. So she kind of looks down at the bag of holdings. It's in there. Empty it for me, please.
It will not, and I will not do that. But what are you looking for? I can grab anything from inside.
2 figurines. Dragons.
Ah,
I'm just kind of sitting here nodding like, yeah, I should have known. What do you want with them?
What do we get in return?
In return, I will not tell my comrades of this awkward situation. Because as of right now, you are halting the progress of our cause, which is an
Always
offense
pause.
mostly met by death. Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to negotiate with all of you at the same time.
are you here to stop what's through that door, or let it down?
She kind of like shifts her weight a little bit to make the wings like obviously seen. You tell me.
I can't. Our friend is the only one that's seen into the door, and she is not here right now, so I do not presume to know what that would mean for us.
Kind of rights herself and looks at you. Guess I shouldn't suppose much from a bunch of country folk in the middle of nowhere. Do any of you speak Draconic?
Yes.
Then you know what the obelisk says.
Yes.
Then you know what's behind this door.
The nature of it? Dragons?
Yes.
Ah, dragons, and you are angel. Or celestial. So you are here to stop the dragons?
Cleanse this place.
Yes. Where will this battle take place? Will it be here in town or through the door?
If we wait much longer, it might be in the town. But we hope to find a more suitable place before anything bad happens here. Likely in there. And if our intelligence is true, there may be some in town who still hold the old ways of worshipping the dragons, of which it is inexcusable.
Would make sense. Yes, we did find this in town. Yeah, figurines.
Who'd you find
Would you
them?
mind if...
Who did you find them from?
Well, could you permit us a moment to just talk on the side here? Discuss some things?
I suppose. I don't have much of a choice. And kind of leans back against one of the walls and pulls out her notebook and starts writing something again.
And I get into a little bit of a huddle here and be like,
I'm
okay.
gonna put my big
so-
arms around everybody, trying to suppress some sound here.
The audio sounds
Thank
amazing
you.
because of all the sound editing.
The
and
acoustics now is just like...
like an ASMR video.
What do we do about this?
I'm not trying to get wrapped up in celestial business, not gonna lie.
That makes two of us. However, considering the wings did change forms, I don't know if I trust her.
What do you mean?
The wings looked different before she had them on her, slightly. They were more rigid than anything else.
Do you think there might be a way to prove her authority?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
DM,
Stop.
would we know of any authority that, like, angel knights that kind of police the dragon worshipping people?
Do we know
Or
about
is
the
this like a
angelic FBI?
I will say anyone who is trying to like put things together can make an either history or religion check. 'Cause this isn't necessarily well known.
Because I'm older, but I'm also country bumpkin, so I probably would not.
Yeah.
That was so close to a 20, but it's a 15.
Yeah, I rolled a 15 too.
All right. So anyone who's checking, Rain, you checking?
Yep,
Might as well.
Uh,
3 of us did.
I got 16.
16.
Oh my god.
Taryn or Tethys? Sorry.
Character.
I rolled a 15.
15. Taryn 15. Yep.
Yeah.
Taryn 15.
15,
And
15.
Lilith.
Character built around knowledge. I got a 5.
5. Yeah, you guys are kind of racking your brains thinking as you're in this huddle, just kind of throwing out little ideas, but none of you can get a firm grasp. The only thing that you know is from the older myths and legends about how it was a giant war that happened, again, commonly known as the Lament, where the Celestials and the Dragons fought to essentially extinction as they fought each other, but you can't think of any modern day equivalent that could still be trying to hunt down either side. So this is a very obscure kind of organization that you guys are just not able to piece together at this point.
Worshipping dragons is illegal, right?
Yes, in the coalition, it is illegal.
I think within the coalition itself, I could see some kind of force to enforce, no dragon worship, but I don't know where she could have come from.
Hmm.
Would it be
So
possible to bring peace here?
could run out and get her.
That's probably for the best.
I'm for it.
I'm gonna turn to her and say, "Would you mind if one of us goes to get our comrade who's seen through the door?"
Well, I can't promise I'll still be here by the time you get back, but you're more than welcome to leave.
Where would you go?
I mean, I have to finish my research here, and then I'm off to meet my comrades.
How about this? How long are you going to be in the area?
In the area until this area is cleansed, and now that we know who has what we're looking for, not long. We'll find a way to get what we want.
All right, let us work a little bit more on our investigation, and we will meet up with you again.
Well, so be it. And she kind of like rifles through one pouch before pulling out that blue stone again. Just like holds it close to her and then looks at the rest of you. Be on your way.
Well,
Yes.
I'm gonna hold out a hand over it and be like, "Well, on our next meeting, promises for no conflict. Like we come in peace, just for discussions and whatnot. No
And figuratively.
surprise sneak attacks, anything like that."
She warily reaches out a hand and like grabs your hand. Then how about we say less traps next time around your camp?
Sure.
And shakes her
No
hand
shake.
and then quickly pulls out the stone again, and you hear as you're leaving just the soft celestial behind you as you leave.
Let's go back to peace.
Yeah.
And so at this point, you make your way back to camp. Pieces like starfished across 3 sleeping mats.
I always imagined Peace was like sleeping on a log. No, my character would do that, honestly.
Yeah, you
I'm
guys can
like-
return to camp without
I'm
too
too
much
good
issue.
for sleeping bags.
I'm making a mental note about the comment about the traps to take all of our traps down because we're more likely to trap rain than we are these people.
But not rogue.
It is at this time that while we were leaving the cave, I think she wanted more traps.
God,
Because at this
not
point,
enough.
you hear from the distance rain. Oh!
I've got like I'm
Yeah,
upset.
we're gonna need more
Lance on
traps
your
if he's gonna
face.
spring them all.
Gets pulled into tree like Ewok trap.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, so-
I am in the AT-AT trap.
God. Yeah, without issue, you guys make your way back to the
There's like
camp
2 logs that
after maybe about like 30 minutes have transpired before you guys make your way back entirely. And Peace is resting peacefully.
not in pieces, thank goodness.
Yeah,
Because I completely
peacefully
forgot
Alright.
there's a price on her head.
in one piece.
If I get her or kick her awake now, can we still give her the long rest?
No.
Damn.
I will
Alright.
say she still will need like the next 2.5 hours or so, or I guess 2 hours to complete her long rest.
We can spend the
I
next
can
couple
keep up
hours giving her the long rest and taking up all our traps.
It's
Cleanup duty now.
seems like some metagaming, but sure.
I mean,
I-
as the way I see it is this world and like the fantasy system it's built around, people would understand what a long rest is. People would understand what spell slots are, at least in concept, because it's like, oh, I know it takes 8 hours for me to get my full magical power back. I know that a fireball is stronger than a firebolt. So obviously there is some scaling to what they would know and what they would understand. So I'll say like it's not metagaming to be like let her finish her long rest because she's a spellcaster. You guys would know most spellcasters need to rest to get their powers back.
All
So
right.
it's not like the way again if, and this is also kind of like this little bit of like writer/reader in me. If you're gonna build a world that gives the reader or like the player some kind of like knowledge about how a system works, it would also make sense that your characters would know how the system works because they literally live in that world, whereas you're just a spectator to that world.
Mm-hmm.
So your
Yeah.
characters would understand how everything works. Just maybe not in the exact terms that we would know it. But anyways. What you guys doing? Just finishing your rest, waking up in the morning?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. So yeah, Lilith, we'll say you post out for the rest of the watch as the others take their rest. And as you, maybe about like a half hour into this rest, you do see that figure start walking back and then like approaching the area where one of your traps is set before like making a wide berth around it and scooting around.
I'm gonna dispel any traps
Okay.
that she might walk into that have been done by me.
Alright.
All
What,
that
we're
work for
laying down
nothing.
a red carpet now?
They're
Yes,
too
so
smart.
She walks back and kind of like, you do notice she kind of makes like a cursory glance directly at where your camp is.
I'll give her a nod if we lock eyes.
Yeah, for like for a second you lock eyes, and then
I give
she
her
shakes
the
her head
force
and
pump wave.
she makes her way back towards the village. But the rest of your watch is uneventful, and as everyone rouses from their deep sleep, you all get your long rest. So clerics, if you have spell changes to make, you can make them now. But otherwise, you have completed a long rest. The day is yours to do with what you wish.
Now we have that info. I guess we just fill peace in on what happened to start.
For the sake of
For our
simplicity,
casual purpose.
for the sake of simplicity, they explained everything to you, so you don't have to repeat everything.
Yeah, I wasn't going to anyways. Someone else wanted to, they can, but hell no.
We're just cooking bacon. It's like, yeah, we had an intruder last night.
Casual exposition.
Or
I
we
wanted
can
in that
D&D
gate.
or Game of Thrones it where we just never explain it until it comes up again.
Yep.
Oh, by the way,
It's the Dark Souls theory. It's like, we'll never tell you what the story is. It's your job to piece it together.
So I was literally just stalling for time when I said we'll meet again. So what are we gonna do here?
I say we need to investigate further about those statues, because clearly they're an item people want.
I mean, they're
Whether-
draconic, therefore they are evil.
Evil is always a two-sided thing. You need a good side and a bad side. Both think they're good.
And in this land, the Celestials are the good side.
Whatever.
Okay,
At any
chaotic
rate,
neutral.
Yeah.
I'm
At
lawful
any rate,
neutral.
if we don't give it to them, we will be dead meat.
I am acting
so
more chaotic.
good or evil doesn't really matter.
right.
What do you think about all of this piece?
I mean, I have to imagine because she's celestial, she's against the dragons concerning the whole lament thing.
Do you think it would be okay for us to open the door?
No.
No, not at all.
I think we need to know more before we. I don't have commune yet, so we make it work.
We do another augury.
Up, I give a little shaky shake.
Okay.
Now,
Need to read the details of that spell again real quick. Because there is one line that keeps making it so ambiguous that I love it, but at the same time I hate it. Okay. Alright. Okay. So you take your, what was it, bone at this point? Yeah. So you take it, you just kind of toss it, and you look at it, and it is on a... It kind of splits the difference at this point. From what was originally a very negative and woeful reading, this one is edging closer towards having a positive result.
word. Sorry, I'm really hungry, and I didn't get a chance to eat, so I'm like munching my own.
You fool.
Well, as best as I can tell, the motivations do seem to be positive. The effects are not devastating, but they have a capacity for danger.
Do you think these celestial people are with us or against us? Do you think we should help them?
Against the dragons at all else. I'm sure
What
they
was
would
that?
kill us in a second if we got in their way.
Oh, for sure. But do you think we should help them out? Back them up, if you will.
I honestly think we should.
I think we should at least explore and perhaps see what we can do to assist. But I don't think we are any kind of strong to be fighting dragons.
Oh, for sure.
Level 4.
But it would be good to know if something went wrong, then we can at least tell somebody. Prevent the next, I don't know, world-ending event.
Sounds fair to me.
Alright, so what are you guys doing today?
Now that the sun is up, I'm going to be like, all right, excuse me, you guys, gotta go take a load off. I'm gonna scamper off into the woods here.
Do you
Alright.
actually skip off or?
Yeah.
Hello?
Can we go to Whispers?
I got you, babe. Let's go.
Oh god, my cameras are gonna be messed up now.
I think if we have a day, we should stalk Theo, especially because I put into my head that I'm on to him. I think we should like watch what he does for a day, especially now that the Wink people are in. Especially if you know anything about the dragons, you know the Celestials are probably going to be aligned against them. So he would be probably taking some measures.
Yeah.
So it'd be a good, if we're going to spend a day anyway, we might as well follow him around.
Do what investigating we can? Yeah, I agree with that.
Shit, just not his dad's shit. We have his key. We could get into his house and look through his stuff, not just his dad's room.
Yep.
See what he knows, because I don't know what he knew from my incredible insight into him.
Did we ever find anything of value in his dad's stuff?
Yeah, we found those statues.
Well, aside from the statues, like in the mix of paperwork.
it was like charters and random paperwork.
Because we found the figurines in the father's desk. So I was thinking, what if we didn't just have any investigation checks high enough to find anything of value in the papers?
I don't know. Metagaming, I personally think that these dragon people are making the village sick, and that the white robe figures are not necessary. No.
I mean, the supplies that they're giving out is poison, though. Like, we know that.
Yeah.
But
They
maybe
came in a shipment.
because they're dragon worshippers. I mean,
All right.
if the whole town's dragon worshippers, we should start looking around to see if other people follow.
Yeah.
Because if the whole village is being targeted, maybe they just know the one guy, so they assume the whole village is like bad. But
Yeah.
we should definitely find out if that's a solo thing.
Yeah, rip up the whole paper, not just erase the one word.
I mean, you need to see how deep it runs, especially when it seems like it started with him, but then was the whole village.
Meta question: is there any way I can investigate the history of this town? Like, is there a local library in town?
You would know from your kind of meanderings around town. There's really not much of this town anymore. Most of the paperwork and other like more explanatory things would have been found in Theo's home. So the room you guys tore to shreds, put back together, then tore apart again.
And put back together. No, we left it in shreds.
It's the desk is literally broken now.
Okay.
But yeah,
You're welcome.
the only things you would really know just from general knowledge of this is it used to be a fairly busy port town, but recently, within the past few months, has been running like closer and closer to being just a ghost town. And at this point, there's really no explanation why. It's been prosperous for a long time, but there's no direct reason. The only thing that you guys do know that was revealed when you guys first got here is that this is one of the few cities in the area that is not part of the coalition itself.
And that's what I think is going on here.
So technically,
Anyway.
it's not illegal. They're just being assimilated.
Yes.
One might say it's Ishval, but hey, Full Metal Alchemist Day, whatever. Alright,
Okay,
so
idea. We have the key to his house. We fucking raid his house and go through his shit. And one of us tails him, like look out in the hallway to see if mom and dad are coming. We need a lookout, so they will like tail him around and also see if he's doing anything suspicious.
You want us to tail Theo
Yes, I can do it, but
to see
my
if he's into the
investigation
bad
sucks.
juju like his dad was.
I want to see
Alright.
what he says. Because oh yeah, you were in your thing. If he knows anything about that and is like defensive, then he's gonna know Celestials is bad news for his business, and he's gonna start doing stuff. And we are also gonna see if any of the rest of the village is involved, because the poison started with Dragon Daddy Dearest, but it spread to the whole rest of the village. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna see if anybody else is also.
This works. I will. Well, do you want me to come to town with you guys? Otherwise, I'll just chill and defend the camp and clean up our traps so Rain doesn't die.
Well, I was planning to head to town.
Your mic cut out, Sarah.
I was planning to go to town.
Okay.
I think we should all go together because I don't think it's a good idea to get split up that much. At least if we're all in the same town, we're within like a minute's sprinting distance, not a couple hours.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy prey, walks alone.
So,
yeah, like
And
someone
if
who's
any of those,
being by themselves in the middle of the woods.
so
You could have handled yourself, right?
If I was conscious, maybe.
Listen, it's only one disadvantage roll.
I mean, all it is one person with a melee weapon getting close to someone who's asleep, getting an advantage on hit, and then an auto crit on hit with level 4 character. But minor details. But anyways, yeah, you guys are all going into town then.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
I do also want to point out, I think it's fucking great that Rain is just canonically turning into this just bumbling fool, but is also like one of the people who actually like every once in a while throws out like that sage wisdom nugget.
Yep.
Like,
Or just murks 3 people with a quarterstaff.
and then claims to be a pacifist.
They had it coming, right?
Yeah.
Against violence.
But anyways, yeah, you guys make it into town without too much issue. Just a little bit of stumbling on the rough path that's getting more and more muddied down as more people start walking by. But you guys make it to town, and it is as it normally is. It's still very low energy. You do notice, especially compared to the first day, there are more people walking around. I mean, most of the people who are walking around are people you recognize Peace immediately for being the people that you did help and heal. And as you walk by, you notice people are kind of like bowing their head, almost like in like a pseudo reverence.
Gonna put my hood up.
At this point, they would recognize your clothing and what you guys wear, especially being in this group with everyone. You're no longer recognized as from a facial perspective as the person who heals. It is now the group as a whole is more revered in that way. So the like bowing their head is more directed towards you, but they are kind of like respectfully getting out of your way as you walk through town.
Just like duck into the alley and be like, "Quick, someone switch clothes with me. Switch with me."
I'm 6'4", 270 pounds. Hell no.
Who's a short bitch?
I mean, you do have a halfling in the group.
Switch with me. I'm basically a half.
I mean, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm 3'2".
He's walking around in like a crop top and short shorts now.
I might cast Disguise Self on myself.
Okay. What do you make yourself look like?
Gotta stay the same height, but I'll be a dude
Okay.
of, I don't know, a sandier skin tone,
Okay.
a human, and I don't know, different color cloak and stuff.
Gotcha.
Same armor because I'm gonna make sound, but like,
Yeah.
like not same color, but like different, you know,
Yeah.
same type but different look.
Gotcha. So you still have that like male armor kind of look to it, but you have like
Yeah.
a different like surcoat kind of thing covering it up.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I'm like a fighter now.
All right. So you guys kind of like duck into this alley, looking at like everyone taking stock of things. Look over at Lilith, who's Lilith 1 second. Look over at Peace, who's rambling about changing clothes, and look over back at Lilith a different moment, and she is someone else.
Damn, Lilith, you're hot. I mean, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and sneak out of the alley. My investigation
Okay.
sucks, you guys. I would literally be horrible. Great plan, can't execute it. So I'm gonna tail my boy.
Okay. So you're gonna just try to look for Theo?
I'm gonna look for him, trying to be like full on stealthy, blend into the crowd, and then like full on stealth when I find him.
Okay. So first off, what's your passive perception? Just to avoid rolling. 15. Okay, yeah. Without too much issue, you see him. One of the few people walking around town. It's pretty easy to pick out, being one of the only tabaxi in this area. So you see him kind of wandering the townsfolk. He is tabaxi. Kind of wandering around, talking to the few people who are wandering town, talking about how they're feeling now, how are the supplies lasting, and all that.
EM question.
What's up?
Disguise self doesn't say anything in particular about changing my voice.
Mhm.
Is that something that's like a...
I don't think disguise self has a vocal change. I think that's like the higher level disguising spells. So,
Polymorph.
well, polymorph definitely, but I don't remember if seeming does or not. But yeah, you will have to physically change your
be
voice if
mute.
you want to, or be mute. if you want to pull like drop the skill card and be your accent trying to be another accent and just really fucking
A high voice trying to be a low voice, but I'm a dude and not a
I
girl.
would say if we're going really meta, you have your voice, which is a low voice, playing a high voice, trying to imitate a low voice in a different accent.
And people are gonna be like, "Why the fuck do you have like an elvish accent, like an elvish country accent?
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with this?"
Shit's going on here. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I would say no, it doesn't change your actual like tone of voice.
What? What's that spell? It's like whisper or something? Do you have that?
Message?
Yeah, message?
I have message. Yeah.
I mean, messages doesn't change your voice. It just you can
Well,
throw a message
but-
at someone else.
But I'm
I can whisper to
thinking
people.
if
Telepathic.
Lilith throws a message at me, I can use minor illusion to change
Oh.
her voice, and then you
Oh, this-
know.
This is getting complex. This is a lot of wasted
mean-
spell slots.
If the option is there,
Minor
change my
illusion is a
voice.
cantrip I
We're-
have, so I can
we're
do
gonna-
it.
We're gonna dip at 4 p.m. and need a long rest again.
This is the kind of group. It's like we have a fucking warlock in the group.
Except for all the warlocks.
I only have
Is
2
this-
spell slots. I need to rest again, guys.
Oh, D4 of damage.
That's a wizard, not a warlock.
I mean, warlocks are still squishy as fuck unless they're like a hexblade or something. But anyways, so yeah, Peace, you can find Theo without too much trouble. If you're going to tail him inconspicuously, I will say make a stealth check with disadvantage for 2 reasons. 1, the town knows what you look like. And 2, there's not many people walking the streets at this point. I'll say it's still a very, like, there's maybe a dozen people in this town walking the streets. It's kind of difficult to blend into any of them, especially with what you're wearing and how well known you are here already.
If we had the time before she left, I was literally gonna like take my cloak and just drop it on her again, but she was already kind of gone.
I mean, you could have given it to me when I was like, someone give me their clothes.
You said switch with me, and I didn't get the idea until after this guy's self had already been done. So I thought that Lilith was gonna be tailing, but
I was, and then the Terran thing came up, and then we kind of skimmed past it, and she left.
yeah.
Things.
Yeah, so stealth check disadvantage for Peace here.
Could technically be naked.
Food for thought.
Stealth check with like quadruple disadvantage. Just
No,
streaking.
but like disguise self, because I got
Yeah.
clothes on me. Could have just handed them to her. But yeah.
Advantage is so stressful.
It is. What'd you get? Was one of them a natural 20 is the question. What? Say a total of 9?
Yeah.
Okay. So you wander out into the street and you think you're doing a pretty damn good job. You feel like you are blending into this like very limited crowd extremely well. Then you kind of look around you and you are the only person here walking upright with a bunch of people like hunched over, hacking, coughing, and vomiting in the alleyways. And in a certain amount of time, Theo kind of like looks back and starts like backtracking towards you to help like the people around you before looking at you and just, oh, Peace, I did not know you would be here. Have you found anything in your investigations?
Still looking.
Still looking very much appreciated. And if you don't mind, I'm going to try to help these people as best I can.
I Great.
He kind of like grabs a couple of them by the shoulder, just starts like leading them off to the side, kind of like out of the street. He pulls like a small vial out, is trying to like heal them as best he can without doing.
I'm gonna get some graffiti on the wall, like I can read it.
Just starts
So-
scribbling.
Meanwhile, aren't we supposed to be ransacking this dude's house?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so
So let's do that.
So I'm just gonna this time I'm gonna pretend to be like checking in on people and I'll be like, hey, how you doing? How's the wife? How's the kids? They're dead? That's a bummer.
Shit.
so you make your rounds.
Keep an eye on him. I just want to be like, have him within sight distance while I'm like dorking around.
Yeah, so you kind of make your way through like these small little clustered groups of people, having these short conversations with people, trying to pick out people that you've healed before, kind of having a conversation with them. And let's say out of everyone there, you get a couple of people there that have like sick loved ones that are kind of like, please, you have to help them, and are like begging you to help. I'll say there are two people that are like begging you for help in healing one of their loved ones. What do you do?
Helps those in need.
You're healing both of them?
You remember like I'm on The Office? And I guess I'm gonna fucking use 2 lesser restorations.
All right. Just so you know, roll the d4 on that one. Roll the 2 for how many people you would heal. But while she's doing that, the rest of y'all, you make your way to Theo's place without too much issue. You know exactly where it is at this point. Unlock it, walk in, and it's a very basic setup. As you walk in, you have 2 doors to the right, 1 to the left. The one on the left, you know from experience, is where his study is, and the 2 doors to the right, you have yet to explore. But it's a very basic wooden structure. There's maybe 20 feet, like in the main thoroughfare area on either side of you. It's very modest and humble place.
I'm going to keep watch outside and give a bird call if Theo starts to come back.
Okay.
I'm also keeping an eye out, so.
So the 3 of you,
I'm
what's you up to?
Oh god, camera quality. What the hell happened?
gonna search particularly for any papers or anything to do with the Draconic language.
Okay. Which room are you exploring in particular? Are you going back to the study, or are you going to explore one of the other 2 rooms?
Let's go with one of the other 2. What were the other 2
Okay.
options?
There are 2 doors you haven't opened yet. They're basic, like, home setup, one next to the other. You have one on the left, one on the right.
Let's go to the right
All right.
one.
So you go to the one on the right, and this appears to be Theo's bedroom. So it is a very, again, very Spartan, humble. There is a bed set up in the center of the room against the far wall, a couple of windows set up. The windows themselves, the glass has been faded and is almost like there's so much muck going around that it's just kind of stained it. Like you've ever been in like an avid smoker's car, how their mirrors have that like yellowish orange tint on like every reflective surface. That's kind of what you get in this area. It's the windows are mucked up. You can see out of them, but not very well.
There's also a very strong tobacco smell.
No tobacco, don't you worry. But you do see there is next to his bed a small little nightstand, and on the other side, next to the door, a small reading chair with a book placed on the arm of the chair. But otherwise, this room is very bare. So it seems like he's having just as hard of a time with this as everyone else in the town.
Okay. ADD kicked in there. You said there was a small chest?
There's a nightstand. So yeah,
Nightstand.
you have the bed. Next to the bed is a nightstand. Across from the bed,
Yeah.
next to the door, is the chair with a book.
So like a drawer in the nightstand?
Yes. Yep.
Come on.
Okay.
Get my little fingies up in there.
Alright. So you open the drawer, look inside, you see a couple oddities, a lot of kind of a couple rolled pieces of parchment, which you kind of unroll, and they just seem to be basic correspondence between Theo and the Coalition. A lot of what you're reading out of these scrolls is almost like trade deals, kind of, where the Coalition is almost trying to invite Theo to be part of the Coalition. And there's just a lot of correspondence trying to like entice and get Theo. And every time you see a small correspondence written in a different handwriting sent back, or a couple that are unsent so far that are a denial of that, stating that this has been a long-standing tradition to be an independent township. And what's your passive perception?
16.
So also in there, kind of like stashed away in one of the corners, you do find like a small, like a velvet satchel. Maybe about the size of like between a softball and a baseball.
Okay.
So,
can I open that up?
so,
and see what's
so
in it?
you pick it up and it's very light, and you look inside and you see this like very coarse red leaf on the inside.
Okay.
So from what you would know,
Bears.
from what you, it's a bad dragon, but from what you like find from your studies, especially, is a very potent drug. Not illegal, not outlawed, but it is. You're not sure exactly what it is, but you do know this is kind of in the harder side of legal drugs, if you want to put it that way.
Okay. I'm bag of holding it.
Okay.
We'll save this for later.
So if that's the case, you can add. Oh, what the fuck did I call it? That's a good question. That is a fantastic question. I'll find it eventually. It's not on the sheet. I'll tell you at the end of the night.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, in this drawer, it's just more of those correspondence. And then you kind of rummage through, find the satchel, and as far as this drawer, that's all there is. Anyone else investigating anything else here?
You just said it's just his bedroom, like there's no desk, no books.
Yeah, in the bedroom there is the nightstand, which Lilith went through. There's the armchair with a book on the arm, and the bed itself.
Do we know what the book is?
Lilith did not check the book now.
I will check the book.
So you pick up the book and kind of look it over. What languages do you know?
I know Common and Primordial.
You do not understand the text on this book.
I hand it over to Lilith immediately.
I
Just,
look at the book.
Lilith, you look at the book. You know Draconic. I know this much. So you do.
Oh, the book is.
Yes. So you
Oh,
do
fuck me.
recognize a couple of the scripts are kind of a loose Draconic. Not
Oh.
so much as the nobler script that was set on the obelisk, but it seems like this is more of a like beginner's guide to Draconic. Like it's like one of those workbooks you get in high school when you're learning a language, where it has like a snippet of Common followed by Draconic followed by like 2 lines where you trace like the script of it. Like,
Okay.
I'll say this isn't necessarily a like journal of sorts. It's more of a, like I said, like a beginner's guide,
or like a book of translations.
kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Bad sign, but I'm gonna put that back where I found it, and convey what it is to Rain.
Yeah, not a good sign. Moving on. The next room, we find a satanic circle.
Find a
Pentagram.
summoning circle with an infant in the center.
A dead infant.
Yeah, so you guys checking out the other room then?
I'm gonna check the study one more time.
Study. All right, roll an investigation check for there again.
Has anyone checked underneath his bed?
17.
No one has yet. No. 17.
I'm
Okay.
going to do that.
Okay. So Tethys, you roll this place again, and you are very certain that you have found everything there is to find in this room.
Okay. Then I will leave and go with him to check out that other room.
Not before I flip his bed.
All right. So you kind of like get down and look under his bed, and like pick up a little bit of the mattress, kind of look under there. You do find like a small pouch of what appears to be coins under
Okay.
his bed.
And I just place that back. Just emergency fund. Gotta have it. Gotta have money. I know.
Yeah, ironic. Other than that, you don't find anything of interest under there.
Okay. To the next room.
All right. So you guys bust out of the room, and at this point, Peace and Terran, you notice Theo's kind of finished helping the few people that he's helping out, and is going to start like kind of looking around, kind of makes eye contact with Peace, gives her a polite nod, and starts making his way back towards his house before finding Terran waiting outside. Just kind of gives him a cocked look.
No, if he starts heading back towards his house, I'm gonna wave him over.
And kind of like takes his eyes from Terran, and kind of looks over. It's like, oh, is Peace? Is there something you need?
I was just wondering, I've been out of town for like a day. How are people doing? What's the word? Are there enough supplies? And I'm just gonna keep them busy.
But as far as supplies go, and he kind of like goes into this long, ranting, logistical report about how like how, like all the supplies are coming in, but it's not quite enough. But he has enough supplies to reach to the next supply shipment. Pretty much starts breaking down the entire economy of this town. I will say, make a persuasion check for me to see how long you can keep him distracted.
I'm going to bird whistle 2 times and hope they get the memo.
Would I be able to do guidance on this, or like not really?
We'll say since you are going into this with the intent, I'll say yes.
Wow. 19.
19? Okay. Roll a d12 for me.
Wow. So many dice. 6.
6. So we'll say you kind of get in this long conversation with him, and you can buy another 12 minutes of time.
Your coat is so shiny and lustrous. What do you use?
Oh, but you see, it's a long family tradition and trick. You see, the fur that they have on my skin is it's very like what we have in the cloak. And he kind of goes into this long, detailed explanation of his laundry habits. So the rest of you that are inside.
Like his fur, his coat fur.
I'm glad his day is being lightened up a little bit.
But the rest of you that are inside, you hear this like 2 short little chirps from outside. You kind of get the hint that you guys just start hurrying up with the process.
All right, second room. Let's go.
Yep.
So, all
Let's
right.
go.
So,
Go.
so you guys reach for the door to the second room, and it is locked.
Lockpicks. Let's go.
Lockpicks.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't have to use my claw this time.
Yeah, make dexterity check. Are you proficient or no?
In thief tools? Yeah.
All right.
Isn't it sleight of hand?
Dexterity plus proficiency bonus for if you're, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that's how it works.
It's like Skyrim.
Natural 20?
All right. So Lilith goes up to this door, just kind of like checks it. Shit, it's locked. Pulls out her thieves' tools, just puts them back, and just opens the door. Like in 3 fluid movements, just unlocks it and puts it back in her pouch. And the door gently swings open without a sound.
Nice.
Yeah. You walk into this room, and this appears to be a storeroom of sorts. You kind of give it a quick once over, especially to passive perception. There are a couple like shelves of dried meats, some slightly fresher meat that's like curing and heavily salted. If you're going to roll this place, I will have you guys make investigation checks for me.
Yes.
Yep.
Not
Oh,
good.
nice roll.
At 22.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no
So-
good.
22,
That is
Rain,
a 5.
and Tethys.
8.
8. All right. So you guys, especially Terran and Tethys especially though, as you guys are looking around, you get that like whiff
I'm
of
looking
this
at
like
the-
cured meat, and kind of that like primal sense in the back of your skull starts going off, and you can't really focus in this room with so much of this veritable luxury in this area. And Rain, you just
I look
remembering
at the
that.
ceiling.
So you're just remembering that amazing rest you had. Just kind of look up and just kind of get lost in thought. Lilith, on the other hand,
An ADHD person.
it's canon. Rain has ADHD.
Instead of the sound of crickets, it's the sound of the waves that the stone makes.
Yeah. He's been spoiled, and now it's just like always in the back of his head. But yeah, Lilith, you kind of like snake your way between these two in this cramped space. Just kind of like go around and start moving things to the side, and in not very much time, you find a small latch under a couple of crates that appears to go deeper underground.
Go. Flip open the latch, and then, well, try to open the thing.
So you push the crates and barrels off to the side. You go down to reach for the whatever the fuck it's
Handle?
called, the grate. You grab the handle of it, lift up, and once again, it is locked.
Lockpicks.
All right, another check for me.
Math.
11. Okay, so yeah, you take them out. You try to do the same thing. You're a little overconfident from your previous experience. Just kind of like slip it in, just kind of fumble it, drop one, pick it up, and just
One falls down the grate.
Yeah.
and you don't quite get it yet.
Damn it. So it's a grate. So can we like look into
Yeah,
it?
so there's like a slab of wood set on the top of it, and then how do I explain it? So there's on the left and right side of this like square panel, there are like wooden planks. Then on the top half of it is mostly metal grating, and that's where the lever is. So, or the handle thing. So as you kind of look down in there, you don't see a whole lot. There's a ladder leading down, and about 20 feet, 15, 20 feet or so down, you see a solid foundation of dirt, and then a small path that leads under the house. But from your current perspective, you can't really see anything except for that just the initial landing. And at this point, just for Peace's knowledge, it's been about like 5 or 6 minutes into the conversation.
If we can open this and just get one of us down there, maybe, I don't know, we could cover it up again and everyone else can leave while the person's down there for the time being.
Sounds good.
Sure.
No, wait, hold on.
But we want
Sounds
to
good.
break the lock? Or
I can try and muscle it.
could I give it one more lockpick try before he breaks it?
I'll give
Or-
you one more shot at it.
Okay. I won't fail you. I failed us.
Oh no.
6.
Yeah, so you kind of reach down, you start picking it, and your hands just get a little sweaty as both the tools slip out of your hand and fall down the grating.
Lost it. Oh, fuck. Well, I need my tools back anyway, so please.
I'll see what I can do. I'm assuming just a strength check or athletics?
Straight strength check.
Straight strength, alright. 15.
15. So you kind of like reach down and grab hold the lock and just it's not going. This, out of all of the metal and the wood that's in this seems to be the newest and freshest metal. There's not a spot of rust on this, and it actually looks like it has been maintained, which is a stark contrast to the rest of this village.
So are the planks on either side kind of like holding the grate down?
The planks are part of the little hatch. So it's what you can assume based off of the way it's made is that there is like metal grating the entire way, but these wooden planks were placed and kind of like hammered down into it so that he could easily place things on top of it without them being like lopsided.
Okay. So if I tried to break the planks, it wouldn't do anything.
There would be metal bars underneath.
Okay.
Valid question though.
Yeah, I mean. Can I try again?
I gave Justin 2 shots. I'll give you 2 shots.
All right. No, come on. Same thing happened.
Yeah, you
Even
again
lower.
Just like, and then your hand like slips off from the sweat and just kind of like slam your elbow against the wall. It doesn't hurt necessarily, but it's kind of that jarring like.
I hit my funny bone.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Oh, I don't think it's going to budge.
So for clarification's sake,
Yeah.
do I not have thieves' tools anymore?
If you only had one set of thieves' tools, then you no longer have a set of thieves' tools until you recover them or find another set.
Good to know.
Or if your artificer bullshit can make a pair.
Wait. We don't technically have to wait, but I think that is a thing, yes.
Jesus Christ, really? It's so dumb.
Yes, I can.
So dumb.
Oh, it takes an hour, though. So.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have that time.
Nope.
Yeah, about this time, with you guys kind of blundering around, it's been about 10-minute mark.
Alright, I guess
Start
we gotta
throwing
just
everything back
dip.
into place.
So
You
you
know,
just kind
I've never told you. You have beautiful eyes.
But it's a surprise. Most people don't like the cat-like eyes that we have. It's a very rare trait here. People don't really like the backseat here. I'm not sure why. You know, I haven't had a good conversation like this in years. This has been refreshing. I appreciate your interest. And at this point in time, you guys kind of adjust everything as best you can in the room back to normal. Go back. The lock resets itself in the storage room. There we go. And kind of replace everything the way it was before making your way back outside.
I'm gonna drop this guy's self.
Okay. Yeah, so you leave Theo's house looking like you normally do as Lilith. And at this point, as things are wrapping up here, Theo looks at Peace. It's been a wonderful time talking to you. I really appreciate it, but I do have work to get back to, so I will see you later and have a pleasant day. And then turns on his heel and starts walking back towards his house as the rest of you are standing outside of his house, kind of huddled around with Taryn now.
And the cat was
Well,
doing something.
Anything?
Cat was doing something cute, understandable. while talking to a tabaxi. Yeah. So you guys are all waiting outside of Theo's house with Taryn now. Peace is kind of off a little ways, just finished his conversation with Theo.
I'm gonna go up to the house and be like, "Thank you guys for waiting for me." So it doesn't seem like they're like
Yeah.
looking.
We're all just like leaned up against the building.
Lean back.
Fine.
And Theo kind of walks up to the group of you. Hi, are you going to look through the house again? Have you found anything of interest in there?
No, not really.
Yeah, well, if you guys have more investigations to do, I understand. And he kind of like starts like squirming his way between you guys to go into the house.
We appreciate all the cooperation.
I appreciate your willingness to help a town like ours. And he disappears into his house.
Let's head out so we can
hate that
fill in
guy.
Taryn and Peace on this.
Yeah. Can we fill in Peace and
Yeah, you guys,
I
you
think we
guys
should
fill in everything that
probably
happens.
Step away from the house a little bit first,
yeah.
and then yeah, fill them in.
So you guys like go off to that same alleyway you guys were in before,
Yes. Perfect.
and fill
Yeah,
in
the
Terran
alleyway
and Peace with
team.
everything. Yeah, for the third time, stepping into the same alley just turns out to be your little meetup spot.
Shady gathering.
Exactly.
I'm gonna put my hood up, make it even shadier.
Rain tries to put up his hood and realizes he doesn't have one.
They have thieves' tools.
Wait.
So cute.
Wait, hold on, JD. Like, lean up a bit so he's on your head.
Oh, that's too much.
A little too much. There we go. I got a cat on your head.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, we've got two cats doing two adorable things in two different ways right now.
Yes.
And Finn is like twice the size, so he's a chunkus munkus. He can't really do that adorable like mwah thing because he just kind of goes like wah. So he's adorable in a different way.
All right. So we filled in Terran and Peace on the book, the kind of like intro to Draconic, and then the hatch that we found, but we couldn't get into.
Did we sneak in at night? Send our 2 stealth people in?
Unfortunately, I don't have thieves' tools. I've got a poisoner's kit.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
You can give me some pass without a trace, and with my +5 to stealth, I'm sure it would. There's a bare minimum of 15. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah,
Or
that could
16.
be arranged.
We need to know what's down there.
And as you guys kind of gathering in this area, you notice that there is a familiar female with metal wings walking towards this alleyway, towards the group of you.
Oh, they're metal.
And just kind of starts making his way. So yeah, in contrast to how they were more wing-like before, they have returned back to their more like up and over metallic wing shape. And she starts approaching you. Well, have you made your decision? Gonna hand them over yet?
Not quite yet, but we are prepared to if need be. Excuse us one moment.
Is she in the
I'm gonna check the rest of the group.
Kind of like leans back, like walks around the corner, and just leans against one of the buildings, rolling her eyes. You hear her mutter something in Celestial under her breath.
what is that?
These fucking.
You hear a very common like these fucking idiots kind of curse from under her breath in Celestial towards you guys.
In Celestial, I'm gonna be like, these fucking idiots know your language.
She kind of like sits up against the wall a little more rigidly now, and then just kind of stays quiet and motions for you to have your little powwow.
Is that or not?
I think whatever's going on here is tied to those dragon things. And I think if we team up with her, we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I think we should give them over.
I agree.
I think we should give them over on the condition that we join her in her escapades.
And we
Agreed.
are able to take what loot we desire. Hint, hint, red orb.
That is definitely something I can get behind. I'm gonna hear the word loot and like both my ears just think.
We also have your hood up, so it's like they poke up.
Yes, it's
Yep.
like poking up through my hood.
He has little cutouts in the hood for his ears to poke up.
Think.
So I'm gonna beckon her back.
She kind of like rolls around the corner and just, yes. So, and she like holds her hand out expectantly.
We
In
have reached a decision.
in
Oh, go ahead.
Celestial, I'm gonna talk to her, so just in case anyone hears us, I'm gonna be like, we want to stop this too. What accent would Celestial be? I'm just not gonna have an accent
It's-
for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can just do the age-old, different language, no accent. Unless you speak German, but I doubt anyone here speaks German fluently. It's the only language I know.
Mental
Oh,
note: Celestial equals German.
Yeah, a very fluent, beautiful language, and then German.
No, I could see like something like Leonin or something being
Or
German.
Yeah.
Dwarvish.
Or Dwarvish, yeah.
I am not giving up my stellar Scottish accent for German. I am owning the Dwarven dialect.
Yeah.
So in Celestial, I'll be like, I'll give you the statues. We do want to stop this, but we are tied to this in a way, and we'd be more comfortable doing this with you. Whatever's happening here is probably tied to whatever they're doing. I think if we work together, not only will we be more efficient and more safe with the dangers that come, but I think we have a better chance of truly resolving this matter and, putting a band-aid on it.
Two things. First thing for you, DM to other person. One, is your holy symbol showing?
Yes.
And is your tattoo covered?
Yes.
Okay. So make a persuasion check with advantage.
The titty
Because-
tat is advantage.
That's because you are speaking in celestial and you are showing a holy symbol. That is a celestial god, or akin to a celestial god.
Advantage? Should I guide? Am I allowed to guide it?
I'd say you're kind of going into this with the intent of persuading, so I'll say you can guide yourself.
I have 14.
14?
It was a 6 and a 1.
Oof. So she kind of looks you up and down. I don't think you're prepared for this.
You know I'm.
Your
They
group
can't
isn't.
stand me. Jump in the DM chat with you?
Okay. DM Whispers.
Yeah, whisper.
Oh boy.
This is going great.
Yeah. Well, and I had something that I was gonna show you, but I can't find it. That was in relation to your bonking people over the head, but simultaneously I'm a pacifist. It was reminding me of this one-shot questions TikTok that I had found that was literally it was like bad traits to your D&D classes, and one of them was a paladin being a hypocrite. Drinking is bad, killing is a sin, and throwing it back shall condemn you to hell. I can't find it. When I find it, though, I will show it to you, sir. That is a big if. I can find it, though. See if I can find it before they get back, and then maybe I'll just put it in the Discord thing. Discord chat.
Alright.
So the other people can look at it too, because some of the other traits that are on here are pretty funny. Oh, that's bad traits to give D&D villains. uh So I found one of the bad traits to give your D&D classes, and this one is rogue who is blind. Let's see, a wizard who is dyslexic, so he's like, I cast Furball instead of Fireball.
Mm-hmm.
And he throws it's like a stuffed cat across the room, and he's got a barbarian who's a Karen. I'm angry for no reason. And then a warlock who's a Christian.
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, this guy is so funny. Like, if you're ever just looking for a quick laugh, 100%. Okay, here's another one. Yeah, I think it's the rogue who has narcolepsy. Cleric, bad gag
Oh, yeah, you told me
reflex.
about that.
Yeah, I showed you this one. A paladin who's a hypocrite. Yes, this is it. Here, I'll put this in the. Fair. It is in the Discord for people to watch if they're interested in that. You check it out, Dalton.
I did. I find it quite hilarious.
I really like the warlock who chooses to get his powers from Danny Dorito.
A monk.
Yeah, playing a monk. Wait, what? We say as there's literally 2 monks in this party. So funny. They're taking a decent amount of time in there. Just gonna put us on the be right back screen while we're waiting for that. Might as well.
Yeah. Watch them immediately come back.
Oh my! Are you kidding me?
What?
I had literally just put this the stream on the be right back scene, and then you both came back.
Sorry, but extended stint there.
Dalton, I
Yes.
hate you.
So I will say this much. Lilith,
Yeah, what would they see from the outside?
yeah, Lilith, with your passive perception, you would notice that this figure handed Peace something. So you can't tell what the piece was handed an object. Everyone saw at this point, kind of a little bit of motioning behind towards the rest of the group, and then a lot of just incomprehensible to all of you celestial speak between the two of them. But otherwise, they had a bit more of a personalized and personal conversation, from what you could tell, than what you had the night before. And at that, she looks back at Lilith and again holds her hand out. You know what I'm looking for?
I'll pick out the statues from the bag of holding and hand them over.
As you pull your hand out, make a wisdom saving throw.
Aren't they in a satchel in the bag of holding?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. All
They're
right.
in
Everyone
my
have-
satchel.
Okay.
And
Yep. Then yeah, you hand it over without an issue. And she looks at Lilith and looks back at Peace and replies in Celestial. Thank you.
Now I'm gonna hold
No.
my hand out and be like, you can have the statues, but I would like my satchel back.
Interesting. And she takes it and takes the statuettes out and hands the satchel back to you.
Thank you.
And said, what are your passive perceptions again?
15.
15.
15. Anyone above 15?
16.
16. So Lilith, again, you see around the area where the statuettes are in her hand, there's this slight like burning and like singe that's starting to go around the outline of these statuettes in her hands. And she quickly like stashes them in one of the parts on the inside of her cloak, and then quickly like shakes her hands out, and then her hands are back to how they were originally. I appreciate all of your cooperation. This is back in common. And through our correspondent, motioning towards Peace, if you do indeed wish to help us tonight, probably tonight, around midnight, we will be opening the door and facing whatever's on the inside. Me and my accomplices. If you wish to join us, you may. If not, wish you the best. But if you do decide to come, expect violence, to say the least.
No.
And she turns on her heel and starts walking towards the rest of her entourage.
She had me at violence.
Same, but for a different reason.
I just want some closure.
Well, first we have to open the door.
They can open the door. I just want to hit something.
And
You're
the
not,
thought
you're not
dies.
seeing the joke, are you? Getting
the
closer.
orange orb might be through the door, right?
Orange orb could be through the door, but not only should we probably do it to like protect people from dragons, but dragons have money.
I like the way she thinks. I like it a lot.
Lots of money. They have, in fact, swords.
Sure.
You know what? Violence, orb, money. I'm in.
We've checked all of Texas boxes.
Yes, all of them have just instantaneously. Ears are like this now instead of just this.
He's got the good old like blood elf ears going up, eyebrows are getting longer, the greed
Yes.
is setting in.
The toothy grin is getting wider.
I fail to see how both, how are the dragons evil? Why do we have to fight them?
So dragons, well, metagaming, I could tell you, but
You can
I
metagame
don't-
it. If your character knows, you can explain it that way.
I don't think she would. She's dumb as shit.
All right.
If you want to, you can make a history check. But
Yeah.
YOLO.
16.
16? Okay. You would know a lot about, again, the common history of the lament. But you do also know that the rule before the lament happened under the dragons wasn't bad. Like there was still like a prosperous nation that was happening there. So it's not like this is a stark like, oh, all dragons are trying to kill everything always. Like there was a legitimate prospering nation before the lament happened, and now there's another prospering nation that's ruled under the Celestials.
Yeah, and Rain has only recently been introduced to this world, so
Good or bad, except when they decide to be bad, they're a lot bigger.
I would prefer to be on their side. They're bigger. If we have to battle, we have to battle. But I failed to see why we can't come to an understanding with them.
We did. What do we need those statuettes for? To go get killed by ourselves and make more enemies? We're gonna come to it. They're gonna help us with what information they know.
I'm going to make a history check here as well.
Investigations here.
Rip.
This is now just become convince Rain we need to do this.
Anyone else want to do anything?
No, I am convinced 100%.
All right.
Yeah, your character doesn't need to convince me.
Yeah.
I want to find a long blade of grass to put between my teeth like the country bumpkin I am.
Find a conveniently placed piece of straw.
Hells yes.
It has vomit on it from people throwing up everywhere.
Does have a slightly acid taste to it. But with that, is there anything else anyone wants to do in town?
Well, I'm just going to end this conversation just by saying what I just said. It's just, if I have to fight, I have to fight.
I'm gonna like give him a nice pat on the back, like, yeah, there you go.
To it. Like
It's a
from the
fighting
first-
spirit.
Don't
I do
worry,
think-
we'll make a fighter out of you yet.
Regardless, I do think if we help these people, they would be very valuable allies in the future. If that's to sweeten the pot a little. She was very nice. Her name's Gwen.
Rain chuckles a bit too. It's just.
Was
Just
she just like a human, by the way? Or was she...
She looked human, but like incomprehensibly beautiful.
Okay.
Oh?
So you couldn't tell exact, like, very many facial details. You couldn't tell hair. She was wearing a hood. But from the facial details, when, especially seeing her in the sunlight, her skin was a very, like, not pale, but not tan, just that, like, middle tone that almost seemed to, like, glow in the sunlight. Just these, like, piercing amber eyes.
Did you see her beautiful eyes?
He's a vampire. He sparkles in the light.
So yeah, I think we're pretty much done here.
Yeah,
So
so
you-
we got a decent chunk of information, I would gather.
Yep. So you guys have from now until they open the door tonight.
And what time is it now?
Now, pretty early still. I'll
Gosh
say
dang.
I need to go to bed.
at this point, probably like noon to 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm like out of spells. I'm tired of shit.
She woke up, used 2 of her strongest spells, and went to town.
Goddamn peasants dying fucking everywhere. Don't you know how inconvenient that is?
Do you know how inconvenient it is for me to help you?
You better be grateful. I am inconveniencing myself to help you.
But yeah, if you guys have nothing else you want to do for the day, we'll say you take another 8-hour power nap in the middle of the day, press T and wait for until this happens, unless you guys have anything particular you want to do between now and then.
Well, he was in his house, so we really can't go back there.
Yeah.
Let's try to hatch again. And the person with thieves' tools is the one that's taking the long rest.
I mean, there are multiple people who can use. Anyone can use thieves' tools.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that guy-
It's
just-
just, we have to ask them first before they fall asleep.
Yeah, we also gotta somehow get Theo either out of the house or distracted in the house, but that still make a lot of noise.
I think we are gonna sneak in at night, is what we were talking about. Maybe post dragons as like a cooldown.
Yeah,
Stealth mission cooldown.
like kidnap
Right.
Theo out of the house while he's sleeping.
Aging combat followed by a cooldown of mild thievery.
Nothing like arson to put you to bed.
You know, thievery is a nice nightcap.
We need a quotes channel.
We do. Nothing like arson to put you to bed.
I can make one after. Actually, you know what? Can I actually just make one right now? I think I could.
But I will say, if there's nothing else you guys want to do tonight, you guys return back to your campsite, you get a long rest, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Alright.
Woo!
Okay, yeah, I'll just make that channel here once we close off then.
But yeah, good job everyone for real this time.
Yeah, we actually did something this time.
This
Okay.
man just said for real this time.
I mean, one of you got a pretty hefty exposition dump, who may or may not choose to reveal that to the rest of the group.
Yeah, right now, Peace is holding all the power of information.
I mean, to be fair, not all of it was, like, relevant to the group, because, you know, character shit.
Peace, what did she say about Rain?
Did you think Rain was pretty?
Even though I have like
He's
a
like,
charisma of
Is that
0.
water or sweat? Because he stinks like a motherfucker.
I have a charisma of -1, so
It's a little bit of both.
Did he get dropped on his head as a child? I will say though, I have to like bolt and go do homework that's due at midnight. But
Oof.
one thing though is that I don't know who would have saw it, but I took out like this little pocket lantern at some point and I showed it to her and we talked about it.
cool.
Yeah.
Your Green Lantern, cool.
Yeah,
Have fun with homework. Don't do anything too stupid.
you
I
can't stop
famously
me.
take chances.
But anyways, rest of y'all, good job.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
same bat time, same bat channel.
Hell yeah.
Next week.
See y'all next week.
Next
See
week
you
I'll be in a
everyone.
new
We need to hang
scene.
out.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, we'll talk to the rest of you guys. I'll talk to Sarah about it later. I do want to ask you guys. So, personal preferences. We're getting close to the holidays and like that kind of thing. Would you guys rather have like a holiday episode from like a one-shot perspective, a holiday episode from like an in-campaigns perspective, or just like a normal session?
Good
So I'll give you guys the power on next. We have both Halloween and Christmas coming up. So if you guys have any like, oh, I want to like, or any of you guys wants to DM for this group and be like, hey, I want to DM a one shot for Halloween or Christmas, then do that. Or if it just wants to be like, we acknowledge the fact that there is this event happening, have like a short little stint in campaign, and then go back to main story next week. So I'll leave that up to you guys. If you want to decide now, you can. If you want to mull it over, by all means.
Or we make it an anime movie where it's not canon.
Yeah, pretty much. Where it happens, it was fun in the moment, and then it's like, oh, you wake up, and nothing happened.
We all just
We
have
went
some
to
kind
an
of like
island
merged
across
dream.
the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't have a
Right.
preference either way. I'm fine DMing. I'm fine if one of you guys wants to DM for a one shot, or if it's just going to be a normal session. So whatever you guys want to do, I'll leave it up to the players and your jurisdiction.
All right.
Alright,
Okay.
I've created a quote wall, by the way.
But
So now that can be used.
All right. Well,
I actually do have one I need to add from very early on.
I was gonna say we have several. How many do we remember?
I'm gonna throw up the nothing like arson. What was it? Nothing like arson to put you to sleep or some
Yeah,
shit?
nothing like arson to put you to sleep. If nothing else, I can go check the VODs
There we
and
go.
go pull a bunch.
I don't know if this was work or if it was D&D.
Ah.
I'm assuming it was D&D.
Well, if you put it up, I can probably check it. Because I usually will go back and watch, like, the previous VOD. Like,
Yeah.
before ours. Like, so, like, yesterday, for example, before I
Yeah.
went to bed, I watched last week's VOD.
Yeah.
Just so I can get a
Again,
pretty decent recap.
buddy, you don't fit. Stop. So I'm gonna show you what my cat's doing right now because he's being a fucking idiot. So here's the rest of my desk, and he is just like
He's trying so hard to fit.
he's trying. His ass is hanging off the side, but good guy, he's trying.
So floofy.
He is a little puffball.
You said his name was Finn?
Finn. Finn for short. Finway is his full name because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings dork.
Nice.
And Finn or Finn didn't sound right, so Finway is what I went with.
Yeah. I've got a friend who has got a cat named Finn that is fairly similar to the cat that you have, except the fur is a little bit brighter and the cat's
Yeah.
a lot smaller.
Yeah, he's big for a cat. Like he's a bit chunky, but he's also just like a big boy. Like I don't know how to explain it to people. It's like he's fat a little bit, but he's just big.
Yeah. Kind of like one of those you'd have to
Gotcha.
see it to.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But anyways, you guys mull over what I talked about. See if you guys want to do a holiday episode or not. But
Yee.
I hope everyone sleeps well tonight. See you all next week.
See y'all
Yeah.
next
See
week.
ya.
Good night.
Peace.
Night.
All right. And that is going to do it for tonight's session. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. Every little view counts very much so. So I will see y'all in the next session, which will be next week at the usual time, like JD said. Same bat time, same bat channel. So 7 p.m. roughly EST on Sunday. So we will see you all next week.
is behind, the world ahead. And there are many paths to tread, through shadow to the edge of night, until the stars are all alight. Mist and shadow, cloud and shade, all shall fade, all shall fade.